Hey y'all, hey, it's me, Portia O, your host of Lifin podcast. And I am so excited to be here with you all. Happy New Year! Oh my gosh, we thank God that we made it to another year. Hallelujah, thank you, Jesus. 2022. Whew. Yeah, that year was a lot for me. It was a lot, but it was a good lot. Like a lot of pain, a lot of heartbreak, a lot of um, misunderstandings, but also through that came the lessons that I obviously needed to learn. And so here we are today. I am grateful to be here. I'm so excited to be in this new year. It's definitely going to be a new vibe. Just continuing from what I've learned last year, pretty much. But I'm officially 35. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm 5 years from 40, y'all. Like, that's so crazy to me. But I am grateful because I'm in good health. I'm feeling good, constantly working on myself daily, fighting, these mental battles all the time, and just persevering, moving forward, okay? And I hope you all are too. I'm super excited, per usual. Y'all know I'm always excited to be here with y'all, okay? I hope y'all enjoyed the first 6 episodes from last year. It was a pleasure and an honor to record those episodes. I really, really enjoyed it. I'm just glad to be in the land of the living in 2023, okay? So I hope you all are as well. I wish you nothing but peace and blessings and all the desires of your heart in Jesus' name, okay? Yes, so let's get into it. I said I was going to start this episode by singing one of my favorite songs from Jilly from Philly, and it's Too Much on My Mind, Too Much on My yeah, it's a whole groove, okay? Jilly from Philly. Um, but that song always plays in my mind when I'm feeling this way. Today we are talking about the tabs that are open in these minds, okay? You know how you be on a computer and your browser, whatever browser you use, I'm personally use Chrome, but your browser, you can open up multiple tabs to have multiple things going at once. I got a tab open with my email, I got a tab open with my access point for my job, I got a tab open up for my bank, I got a tab open up for whatever. It's just multiple tabs always open, okay? And that's how I feel like my brain be, okay? Because I be in here shuffling them, okay? Like, click on this one, okay, wait, close it, I gotta go back to this, I gotta go, like, it's a whole thing, and it just be so much going on in my head at once, and I'm really trying to, like, get through this, because it is very much so overwhelming, it's very much so feeding into my anxiety, it's very much so me trying to do all the things at once, right? And that's dang near impossible. That's what we're talking about today. The tabs open up in my head, in my mind, and I hope that, if anybody else is experiencing this, that we can kind of like talk through this. Okay, let's discuss it. Let's like figure this thing out so that we're not feeling overwhelmed or anxious or like, we can't get all the things done, like, because it's just so much at one time, right? Anywho, so we're gonna go to my segment. I got some questions, y'all. I got some questions. Of course, you already know where I'm coming from with it, okay? So the first question I have, what's the difference between being a multitasker and feeling overwhelmed, I guess? So I think, what's the difference between being a multitasker? Because most people say, right, and I'm guilty of that as well, like, I think that I can multitask, like, which I can to an extent, right? I can turn on breakfast, for instance. I could put the bacon in the pan and go over and fix the cereal because my youngest child, she be having breakfast orders every morning. Anywho, I go put her bacon in the pan, then I go over here while the bacon is cooking, and I'm doing the cereal, getting that all together, giving that to her, and then I'm going on to something else, making some waffles, whatever. Like, that's multitasking. Most people that cook, you multitask to cook to get the job done, right? But sometimes within that instance, if you don't remember to go back to the bacon and you get distracted by something else, like, oh, one of them tabs pop open, right? Oh, I meant to get this book and put in her backpack before she go to school. So I go get the book. And then, oh my gosh, like, I need to comb her hair real quick. And I'm combing her hair. Then I forget the bacon is still on the stove and it starts burning up, right? And I'm like, dang it, let me go get the bacon. Like, are you truly multitasking, like, effectively? Like, or are you, like, should you just focus on one thing at a time? Like, I mean, but realistically, that's hard, right? Because, like, in that instance, I have to get all these things done in a timely manner so that she's able to get off to school and we can go on with our day. Because if I don't get it done, then it's like we're stagnant, right? And we're not being productive, right? So what is the difference between being a multitasker? Can you really be a multitasker and be productive and be effective? And like, I think when your thoughts and those tabs are open, they constantly popping open and distracting you from the one thing that you were doing already, it can be a little tasking on you. And that's where that overwhelm and anxious feeling comes in at, right? Like, oh my gosh, like, I got all this stuff to do, and at the same time, like, can I get it all done? It's just a whole thing. It's a whole thing. I don't know if you can fully be a multitasker because something is, when you're doing one task at a time, that's giving your 100% towards that task, right? But when you multitask, you're giving 20% here, 50% here, another 10 here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like it's gonna lack in an area, right? Whatever. I don't know, child. Trying to figure it out, y'all. That's the whole point. Like, I'm trying to figure this out, okay? So, my next question was, when are you truly being productive? Which, that's, again, it goes back to the percentages, right? Like, when are you truly being productive? I feel like when I'm focusing on one task at hand, I'm truly being productive. Like, last year in December, I was working on my planners and my journals, right? And like, most of my Saturdays, I was taking out that time when the kids will be at their honey house. Yes, they call my mom honey. That's their grandmother. Anywho, when they be at their honey house, I'll be working on my planner and stuff, like, and it takes a lot of time, but I was zone in, like, and focus and do that task until it's to completion, or until I got somewhere that I felt like, okay, I've completed a lot. I can move on and do another task, or whatever. So like, I was on a deadline, trying to get those planners and journals out by a certain period. And I'm like, I got a whole bunch of other stuff I could be doing. But right now, I'm going to have to put that to the back burner and focus on this because this is of priority, right? So I think when you prioritize, that's when you're truly being productive, when you handle that priority, finish that, and then move forward. Like, you can give your all, your 100% of yourself to that task at hand. And that's when you're being most productive. So, yeah, I think that's when. Okay. Next question. Why do we think that we can do all the things? Child, listen. I don't know. And I low-key feel like also society plays a role with that, with women, because for so long we felt like especially in the past, like, women didn't have all the same rights as men or whatever. Okay, and now we kind of do, even though they still won't pay us equally, they still won't give us the positions and all that type of stuff equally, like they're still being first woman in this position. Anywho, don't get me started. But The point is, like, from a woman's perspective, because I'm a woman, I feel like I have no other choice but to do all the things. I could very much so be content in one area of whatever and be like, this is my lane, this is where I'm gonna stay, which some people choose to do that, and that is perfectly fine. But how I'm wired, that is not like, I feel like I can do all the things. I am DIY queen. I am, if I see something, I'm like, I can make that, like, figure it out. Like, that's me all day, every day. And then on top of that, like, still trying to be everything to everybody and all of those stuff. But what I realized with that too is that I wasn't taking care of me because I was too busy trying to do all the things for everybody. Okay. So that's like one of the tabs that's open in my head, like, oh, I gotta call this person because I need to check on them. Oh, I gotta do this because I need to be there for them. Oh, I gotta do this for my kids, whatever. Like, it's always something. You can't do all the things. Like, you can't. Like, you can't. Like, you could do a lot of things, which I'm doing. Like, right now, last year, rather, I started my event planning and decor business, right? And rental business. We just made a year in September. In 2022. So that wasn't last year. That was 2021 that I started that business. 2022 made a year that I have been doing that business. Me and my sister started a business. So that was another LLC I had under my belt. And I still have my 9 to 5. I started this podcast last year and, like, going heavy on content for that. Like, a lot of things I started to do. That was on top of everything I was already doing. Like, but it's been a journey. It's been a journey, and I'm just trying to step out and do more of what I think works for me. But also realizing that I have to take care of myself within that, right? Like, don't be so busy doing all the things that you don't take care of the main thing. Now, I don't know, like, last year that became abundantly clear to me. Of course, you got to take care of yourself. You have to take care of yourself. You have to prioritize you. You have to be a little selfish, people may think, but whatever. Like, whatever. I did all those things because I was trying to provide a present and a future for my children and myself that we can be comfortable and living in or whatever, and also fulfill my purpose overall. Like, God didn't place all this greatness inside of me to be wasted, so let's go. You know what I'm saying? Like, he gave me all these ideas and people around me to, like, execute it and all this type of stuff. Like, I'm very much so the person that thinks of something and, like, if I get the green light to go, I'm going. Like, I'm not going to sit back and wait for somebody else to take the driver's seat anymore. Now, in the past, very much so would, like, okay, I'll wait till somebody else do it because who's going to want to follow me? Who's going to want to do, the things with me? But that's not any longer. Okay, I have found myself. I found my worth within myself. I don't have to prove anything to anybody, and I'm going to step out and be great because God said I could. Okay, so that's what we are. It's a thing within society, and me as a woman, I just feel like I can do it all, but I also have to prioritize, and I have to be realistic about what I actually have the capability to be great in. Also, I this podcast I listened to before was talking about this book that he read or whatever, and basically it was talking about, like, your zone of genius, your zone of excellence, your zone of all those type of things. And I used to always say, like, everything I do, I try to do in a spirit of excellence because that's just how I view stuff. Like, if I'm going to put out something or do something, I always come from the lens of top tier. Like, I'm going to give it my all, my best effort, and I'm going to make sure it is top tier, but that's just the spirit I operate from, a spirit of excellence. But anywho, what I've learned also throughout my journey of starting my businesses is that every even though I have the capability of doing it, doesn't mean that it's my zone of genius. I may be excellent in it. I may be good in it even. I may be the bare minimum in it. But I've realized where I excel, right? And that's my zone of genius. I realize, oh, this is my pocket. Like, this is where I can, like, it's limitless. And then other areas, like, I can still use some work here. I can use a mentor here. I can do, whatever. You can still possibly do all the things. And even if it is for a period of time or a season, right? Like, I have the 360 as my primary rental or featured rental item for my anchored in business. And after doing it for a year, I was like, listen, I'm tired of lugging this machine around and all this type of stuff. I would rather hire somebody to do it for me. But it took the experience of me going through that to realize, like, okay, this can be a lot for just you, right? But in the beginning, I was all in. Like, I don't care. I'm going full throttle because I can do anything, right? Which I can. I did. But it's just like, okay, that's not where I want to give all of my genius in, or, I don't want to give all of me in that area only, or be my primary thing, right? So it's just, you live and you learn. You live and you learn, and you understand, like, what's really for you and what's really not for you, and how you need to go about things through this whole learning experience journey, whatever. So yeah, that was a bit all over the place. But those were my questions, and I think I kind of answered them to the best of my ability. Okay. And if you disagree or agree, comment, let me know. Like, we can have the discussion, because we're here to learn together and grow together and be great together. Okay. Hey y'all, hey, it's me, Portia O, your host of Life Be Lifin podcast, and I wanted to show you one of my favorite companies that I use all the time for me and my family, Shop Lene. They have handmade, all natural body butters and body washes, body scrubs, lip balms, candles, everything that you need to make yourself and your skin feel so extra good. Look how she whipped that up. It's so silky smooth, and it really does moisturize your body the way that it needs to. I'm telling you guys, they have so many different options, from avocado mango butter to cocoa shea butter. Like, it's so many different options. If you can go check them out at their website, which is shoplene.com. That's www.shoplene.com. And she has everything that you need. Go support that small business, because life be life. Next segment is, how does life be lifing you? Okay, we haven't done one of these in a minute. I have to be better at asking you guys these questions online. I was able to ask a few people, because I've been having this conversation a lot lately about, like, the tabs open in our mind, and, like, how we can, like, process this or get through this whole thing. So anyway, so this is the segment that I will ask a listener on social media to send me in questions. I've randomly selected this answer for today. Life be life, and by way of feeling overwhelmed, and then my anxiety goes through the roof. I tried to pray my way through it, but that doesn't seem to shut it down completely. What can I do? I just got to the point. I'm still trying to figure it out myself, but no, I know what to do now, but it's still, like, the execution of it, right? Completely. And I'm just being completely honest, y'all, because I'm telling y'all, I'm on here talking to y'all because I'm still trying to figure this thing out myself. And This is my healing journey. I'm letting y'all in on it with me so y'all can see, like, yeah. I'm going through the same stuff, child. Like, I try to figure it out. But anyway, back to this listener. Thank you for sending in your question and having this conversation with me. Feeling overwhelmed and then your anxiety goes through the roof. Try to pray it away. Prayer is definitely a great way to try to like process feeling overwhelmed, and when your anxiety kicks in, like, definitely prayer. I think prayer helps you kind of slow down, right? Or think about like what's causing this, right? At least for me, when I pray, I start thinking, and I'm literally having a conversation with God, right? And just telling him how I'm feeling in that moment, and things just start coming up, and I'm just talking to him about it or whatever. So prayer is definitely a key way to like help you shut this feeling down or whatever, or calm it down. But also, to add to the prayer, you can do meditation, which is helping control your breathing and all of those things. We talked about that in a previous episode about meditating. That's also a key thing that you can do to help yourself kind of like process and not get so overwhelmed by the feeling and everything like that. I mean, you can journal, okay? Writing down, expressing your feelings. That can be a great way. My journal is on sale on Amazon right now. Please check me out. But no, shameless plug, shameless plug. But no. For real, like, journaling helps. Like, I'm one of those people that definitely in the past was not consistent with journaling at all. Like, I would get a journal, be super excited, write in there for a couple of days, and then fall off forever. Okay. And I found a books later, like, oh man, on this date, on this year, like, girl. Anyway, but I am practicing it more proactively now because it does help me process and does help me try to figure out my feelings and actually feel my feelings in that moment instead of letting those feelings just sit there. I go to bed, wake up with them again. Now I'm adding the next day stressors and all this stuff on top of it. Like, it's a constant build up. And you don't want to get so built up that you start feeling consumed by it all, right? So journaling does help. Just writing out your feelings, writing out your thoughts. Even if you just want to cry on the dang on paper, like, feel your feelings, let it all out, because if you keep it in, it's going to keep building and piling and the feeling's just not going to go away. It's not. So it's good to get that out. Also, if you have a trusted friend that you want to talk back and forth to, me and my good girlfriend Kendra do this all the time. And we let each other know like how we're feeling, and we be right there like holding each other up. Like, yeah, I get that. I feel that. I understand that. Like, let's process this together. I also do this with one of my good guy friends, James. We do this with each other as well. Like, so it's just good to have a trusted friend that you can talk to and let all of your stuff out to, and they can like relate and hear you. Sometimes for us, and I know for me, I can think a certain way, right? And when I talk it out with somebody else, they can give me the encouragement or the perspective that I will typically give to other people. And I'm saying that because it's easy to give advice and to give perspective to other people when they're going through a situation. But it seems like when we're going through the situation, we get caught up. Forget it. We forget like all the work, all the things you've done, and be like, and then when somebody else tells you the same thing, you like, yeah, I know, that makes sense. Like, yeah, I would have thought that. Like, And that's very much so the conversation me and Kendra have all the time. Like, one day it'd be me in the pocket and she got to pull me out with the same advice, and then the next day it'd be her and I gotta pull out. It's like we can't see it when it's happening to us. We can't see the perspective. We can't see the clear vision or the answer when it's happening to you, or when something is happening to you, because all of that anxiety, the overwhelming feeling, the is clouding your judgment and clouding your thought process or whatever. We let that thing consume us, right? So somebody else from the outside can kind of like clear it up for you, like, hey, remember this? Like, we could do this, you could do that, like that. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Like, so it's a whole thing. Like, it's a whole thing. It's good to have a trusted friend, lover, whatever. It does not matter. A trusted person in your life, a human being to physically connect with and talk to about your overwhelmed feelings and your anxiousness or whatever, and just kind of like process one tab at a time, okay? Just one tab at a time. That's the best advice I can give. Again, I'm still learning. So, yeah, but those things have helped me. They have definitely helped me. So, hope that helps you. And thank you again. So, I'm moving on to the next segment, which is tools from my toolbox of life, okay? So, this segment is basically me giving again, some advice, resources, tools, or anything else that would benefit you guys out there. And I'm here to share it with you, okay? Because I am a sharer, okay? So, so my advice this week is to complete one thing at a time. My therapist actually gave me this advice. My therapist be advising me a whole lot. That's why I need to get in therapy. I'm telling y'all, it's a lifesaver, literally. Okay. She just advised me to like complete one thing at a time. And you can write up a list, basically. And in that list, you can use the notes on your phone, or Microsoft has a list thing you can use. It's a bunch of apps, I'm sure, that you can use to complete or set up a list or whatever. Or you can do it old school with a pen and paper. Write it down, okay? Or you can get a dry erase board, whatever you prefer, okay? And as you think of things that need to be done, those tabs that pop open, right? They pop up and they pop open. Just add them to your list, okay? Just the simplest things like snacks, okay? I may not know exactly what snacks I need, but I know we run low on snacks, so I'm gonna write snacks on the paper or in my notes or on the board, okay? Then whatever I'm thinking of, just shuffling through them tabs, opening your head. Like, okay, I got snacks, all right, tights. My girl needs tights. They love wearing dresses, so you gotta make sure the tights are clean or whatever. Whatever pops up in your head, okay? Write it down. It could be a keyword. It could be anything so that you remember, and just make the list, right? And then after that, you can either review your list daily or even break it down into priorities for that day and complete them one by one. So that was another thing my therapist told me, like maybe on Sundays, right? Everybody's schedule is different, but for me, I work Monday through Friday with my 9 to 5. So Sundays will be the day is at my leisure that I can kind of like write out. That's the first day of the week. I can write out everything I may need to do this week so that I'm not overwhelmed. Like I told y'all before, on Fridays I record and I be super overwhelmed that day trying to get everything done with the kids' schedule, with my schedule, and it's just like that day be going so fast. The time, I'm like, oh my gosh, and I still got to do this, that. It's just a whole lot. It's a lot. But if I start off on Sunday writing out my list of things that I need to do, I can slowly get things done throughout the week, that by the time Friday comes, I won't be so overwhelmed because I've already done the things, right? Prioritizing, and you can do them day by day or week by week, whatever is most convenient for you. Um, this will allow your mind to get decluttered. Okay, let's start opening up them tabs, putting them somewhere and not in our head only. Okay, like put them somewhere wherever you choose and start decluttering your mind. Don't hold that in. And you just keep that board or paper or your phone near you and constantly you can set reminders, whatever you need to do. Okay. That will be most efficient for you. You will be more productive and get it done instead of being scatterbrained like I am or was, okay? So yeah, let's declutter. Let's get this stuff out of here. Close these tabs up and put it somewhere and set your timers and reminders and get the things done. Prioritize. Look, let's be better, okay? Because we can't let this stuff consume us. We cannot. So yeah, that's a tool from my toolbox. I hope that that helps someone out there as it is helping me. I am slowly but surely getting better. And remember, things don't change overnight. Give yourself some grace. Don't be hard on yourself. Because that's very much so me too. I would be like, oh my gosh, I didn't do this for like 2 days. Now it's going to be hard for me to get back on track. No, start over. Get back on track. You can do it. Okay? So, my next segment is Life Be Life in Us All. So, this is really just me asking all of my listeners, my friends, my family, my hashtag the village, hey y'all, hey, to please submit your news, topics, or requests that you would like to hear me talk about, okay? This is a new year. I have so many great guests coming up. Oh my gosh, like we about to get into it. But I still want to hear from y'all. I still want to hear all the things that you are feeling. What are you going through? How life is lifing you? Because we are all out here struggling in one shape, form, or fashion. And I know like it's been going around on social media, like check on your strong friends, check on all your friends, check on all your peoples. If you care and love them, just check in, make sure everybody's okay, and kind of like, just build these connections so that we can be there for each other more than we have been. I feel like this society teaches us so much to be like selfish sometimes, like, and it's all about us. And it's not. That's not the reality. And that's not a world that I want my kids to grow up in, thinking that they have to go through all this stuff by themselves. Like, we can do this together, y'all. Like, let's do it. Like, just come together, okay? Because life be life in us all. And we want to just be great and live life and live it more abundantly, okay? So let's get together. Send me your things. You can always reach me at my email, lifebelifin at anchordanllc.com. You can find me on all social media platforms. And I am on all podcast platforms as well. Life Be Life and Podcast. Please download, subscribe to my YouTube. All of the visuals are there. All of the things that we do on every social media platform are there as well. Please follow me on Instagram, Facebook, all the things, all the likes, all the shares, all the comments. I want to hear from y'all. Please, like, we can talk through this. We can encourage each other. If you don't agree with something I say, that's fine too. I am adult enough and mature enough to have a conversation. Okay, let's do it. Like, because this year is definitely giving, I love myself. Like, it's definitely like, yeah, I'm about to take care of me. I'm about to prioritize me. And I'm not saying that in like what I just said, like, let's stop thinking only about ourselves, but thinking about yourself in that way, like as far as loving yourself will have you loving on other people too. Like, for real, for real. Like, I care so much about myself. I care so much about the people around me and the people that's around them and all. Like, let's just keep spreading that love out, okay? And being there for each other and just like doing this life thing together, y'all. Okay, y'all, my hashtag village. Let's go. And I appreciate all the love y'all have been giving me thus far. I truly, truly, truly appreciate the support. And I am just so blessed to even be in this seat and be able to even talk to you guys. So yeah, I'm excited for our futures, okay? So now we're down to the last segment of the night. Man, this episode went quick, okay? But yeah, tonight, yeah, this last segment is Speak Life. Y'all know this is my thing. I believe there is power of life and death in the tongue. So this is a call to action to you all and also myself, okay? That not that whether it be an affirmation, a scripture, or a quote, I'm going to leave you with these words to hold on to until next time, okay, y'all? So the affirmation for today is: whenever I am stressed, I make sure that I take time to breathe so I can think clearly. Again, the affirmation is: whenever I am stressed, I make sure I take time to breathe so I can think clearly. No more tabs, y'all. Okay? You heard it, you say it, you write it down, and remind yourself to speak it and make it happen. Because, child, life be life in us all. See y'all next time. I love you guys, and thank you so much again. Happy New Year. 2023 is our year, as all the rest of them have been and will be. Okay? Bye.